Well, that's a wrap, huh? Okay. Any questions?
All right. It's Levi from the Weekly Bust. So did you expect in the main for that to go all the way?
No, absolutely not. I did not think that would go all the way, and to be honest, I really thought that if Lloyd was proving to be a little difficult for Gage, I thought Gage would take him down and try and finish him on the ground. I was extremely impressed at how tough Lloyd came in. I think that was a great match, and I have so much respect. I have so much respect for Gage because he told me that he was going to keep it standing, and I thought, a lot of people say that, but he did it all the way through. He wanted to prove a point that his striking is getting a lot better. He gave a lot of props to his striking coach, and he wanted to prove that tonight, and I think he did that hands down. So I was super happy with it. That was a war. One thing I'll say about that is I hope people understand how great of a fight they were exposed to tonight, because that was a war. I mean, that was two high-level fighters fighting really hard, and that was a great fight.
Yeah, the fans won that fight for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to ask, is there a fight of the night announcement?
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say, hands down, that Lloyd and Gage got fight of the night.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what there we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Hi, Terrill. It's Drew. I just have to ask you, aside from the mix and the main event, what was your favorite fight on the card aside from that? I know we're covered in blood.
I wrote notes on so many fights, and it's always kind of a blur at the end of the night, because it just and I'm paying attention to so many different things and getting ready to announce the next fight and all the different things that go on. But honestly, one of my favorite fights was the first fight of the night. Those guys, they brought it, and I always like our show to start off with a bang. And bout number one, that was Bowden and Jacob. Jacob Gatch and Bowden Graham, they put on a war. I was really, really impressed with that fight. I mean, I was happy with all the fights, though. To be honest, we only had one fight tonight end in the first round. So, that's a record for us. So I was really happy with the quality of the fights tonight. Pleasantly surprised.
Hey, Terrill, Kyle Hansen, Montana Television Network. So to piggyback off that first event of 2024, just how would you sum up the card and kind of carrying 2023's momentum into 2024?
Well, that's we really want to set a standard with really good quality main events everywhere that we go. We just want to keep pushing to have the best quality fight cards that we can. And I think one thing that's really, really important is matchups make good fights. And a matchmaker's job is so important because, skill level, it's great to see fighters with great skill. But even fighters that are not as skilled, as long as they are equally skilled, then it's a great matchup and a great fight. And so I always say great matchups make great fights.
Can you just speak to the wrestling and the grappling matches, just kind of adding those last minute, to fit some cards? Just what can you say about those kids stepping up?
Yeah, I was really pleased with them stepping up, and they went for it. They went hard and put on a good show, and that was an opportunity to kind of teach the crowd a little bit about ground, because I think, a lot of fans need to understand ground better so that they enjoy it when those fights go to the ground. Everybody loves good striking, absolutely, but if you understand the human chess that goes behind the grappling aspect of it, I think that makes a big difference. And so we try and do that. We lost some fights on this card, and it was really bad, this card. We lost 4 fights on fight week, which is really something, and I'm going to be talking about that in the near future. We're going to be taking issue with that, and I'm going to be calling some people out because good reasons are good reasons, but bad excuses don't fly. And I'm going to put some people on notice that just doesn't fly, because it shorts their opponent that trains hard. It shorts the fans. So losing 4 fights in fight week, and there's been a lot of that across a lot of different promotions. And so I think there needs to be something done about that. But so we were a little bit shorter on fights, and so we did add the grappling match. It was only supposed to be 1, but we had 2 guys that really wanted to do it as well. So we put that in there, and but we wouldn't have needed them time-wise because it was a good card. And I think that's something to say. Quality is better than quantity. That's one thing that I walk away with tonight, that quality fights are better than quantity fights.
What can you say about Lloyd's impact just kind of on Montana MMA? Gage was pretty complimentary of him and watching him growing up and kind of inspiring him, but what can you say about this guy over here and just what he's done for the state?
You know, I've known Lloyd for a really, really, really long time. You know, Lloyd and I've been beat up by Lloyd. We rolled jiu-jitsu together. He is a pioneer. What he did, I remember the first time seeing a Montana fighter, his picture across the side of a semi-trailer for Bellator. You know, he was their poster child. They were promoting a lot off of him, and he did so much to help put Montana on the map. But more than that, Lloyd has always been a class act. And so great to work with. He's been humble, he's fun, he's exciting, he's fiery when he needs to be, but he's super easy and nice and great to work with. And you know, from a promoter standpoint, a matchmaker standpoint, that's worth its weight in gold. And it's great to see. I'm glad that he had such a good fight tonight, because I don't think either one of those two lost that fight. I mean, really honestly, do you guys think anybody lost that fight? I think they both walk away with people better take them seriously. I think they put a lot of people on notice that, you know, Lloyd put people on notice that he's still here to stay, not just for bare knuckle, but he's here to stay for MMA too. And so I was pleased with that. So yeah, we definitely want him back.
Even with losing 4 fights, you're right. Quality over quantity. My bad. I just wanted to say congratulations to Fusion. You guys had a great production. Shout out to Levi in the back as well. Yeah, I just wanted to say congratulations, and this post-fight press is pretty sweet.
Appreciate it. You know, we want to keep doing more and more, and you know, we are going to be doing things gradually, a little better and pushing the envelope the best that we can. We want to make this better, and we want to create the best stage for the fighters that we possibly can. Fusion Fight League is a team. It's definitely not me. There's so many people that put so much work into what we do, and you know, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that I think that people just don't understand that goes into putting on an event, especially when you're starting to do live stream and video production and all of that. You know, there's a lot of work that goes into it. So I'm only as good as my team. I'm only as good as the fighters that fight on the card.
This is Jake with the Weekly Bus. I just kind of wanted to make more of a statement. Today was a really good treat for the fans. We've seen a lot of technical stuff out there, a lot of good, takedown defense. You know, we saw a good triangle out there, some really good ground, pounding, ground and pound, standing up. We're from Great Falls, so usually we see a lot of banging out there, but it's exciting just to see the young guys that you have out there and some of the technical skills they're bringing to the table.
I appreciate
This was a fun show.
I appreciate it. You know, you talk about triangles. We had a successful triangle, and we had some triangle attempts. And one of the things that I'm watching the triangles, and well, I can't coach. I can't yell. I have to be impartial. But I just wanted to keep yelling, pass his arm across, pass his arm across. You know, I mean, when you're setting a triangle and they've got their arm over here, it opens up that carotid artery and it makes it hard to finish it. So really the best way to finish a triangle, I mean, guys were setting it up really well, but you got to finish it well. And the best way, in my opinion, to finish it, pull that arm across and then reach up, get a hold of their head, and then raise your hips and pull the head. And that, I got triangled by Fabricio Verdum that one time like that, and I thought my head was going to pop off. So, but that's one of the basic things of a triangle is you've got to pass that arm so that you're shutting that off, and that was something that drove me crazy tonight. That, and another thing that drives me crazy all the time is I wish fighters would work more and work harder on escaping negative positions. They get mounted, learn how to mount escape. That's just so important. Or pass guard also. That's another thing. Fighters want to hang out and try and do damage from within the guard. I think those are the two key things if fighters really want to progress on the ground is to work their mount escapes and learn how to pass guard.
Last one, Terrill. Just Missoula's been kind of a hot spot for you guys the last couple of years, coming here the last couple summers. Now the Adams Center, just any plans to come here again this summer for the ballpark?
Oh, absolutely.
And you mentioned the next 3 events, but how much? I mean, one, how many more times would you like to come to Missoula? And two, what can you say just about
We
this
want
market?
to do Missoula 3 times a year. We will do Missoula 3 times this year. We'll come back to the ballpark. I think we're going to be doing June for the ballpark, and then we're going to come back. I don't have the date off the top. October, coming back to the Adams Center in October.
Do you try to line that October date with a Grizz game to maybe draw in fans, or how do you guys kind of, I guess, do those fall
No,
dates?
we don't want to compete with the Grizz. That's a no-fly zone.
Just what can you say about the Missoula market and just the fans that you've had here the last couple of years?
The fans are great. I think the fans that were here tonight had great energy. There's so many good fight gyms here in Missoula, and it's close to Kalispell. We get good fighters out of Kalispell. They happen to have an event on the same night tonight, so we didn't have any of the Kalispell fighters over. But the Missoula market is great. The Adams Center is a phenomenal facility. I really like it.
Anyone else? You good?
All right.